Yo, guys, it's your boy Bernard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I will be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. So, you guys know I went on my rant last week about Grand Theft Auto 6 so far being digital only for PC and Xbox. But PlayStation decided to, just go against everything they stood for when the PS4 came out this week. So, they posted on their blog on the 1st of July. Physical disc production ended in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is from Sid Schumann, the Senior Director of Sony Interactive Entertainment Content Communications. I know he's not the one who made the decision, but he's the one who made the post. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. As consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continues to shift away from physical disc to digital, physical game disc production for all new games released on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following that date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in this format. This is a natural decision for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. The transition will enable us to align more closely how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games, whether that's at retailers or PlayStation Store. We remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experiences to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. So that's for PS5. So then they made an update on the PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS3 Vita. All right, so here we go. Changes. This is once again written up by Sid Schumann. Changes start this year in select markets, followed by global changes in 2027. After nearly 2 decades of supporting the PS3 console generation, we wanted to let you know that we will be closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 as well as PS Vita. PlayStation Store on PS3 will close in select markets starting this year, followed by global closures for PS3 and PS Vita next year. That means new content purchases will no longer be possible once the PlayStation Store closes on these devices. To ease the transitions, players will still be able to download previously purchased content after the closing date for the foreseeable future. As the PlayStation Store continues to evolve to support modern commerce systems, including updated payment processing standards, PS3 and PS Vita are no longer able to support these updates at the level required. Yeah, because you don't allow people to. As a result, we need to close the PlayStation Store on those devices in the time frame as follows. Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua, PlayStation Store and PS3 will close starting August 2026. Additional Latin American and Middle Eastern countries, PlayStation Store on PS3 will start closing late 2026. In all other countries, PlayStation Store on PS3 and Vita will close in July of 2027. We know this news may be disappointing to PS3 and PlayStation Vita players who hold a special place in their hearts for this generation of gaming. PS3 and PS Vita represent an important era in our PlayStation history. So this was not an easy decision for us to make. Yes, it was. Quit lying. All right. As we continue to expand the PlayStation experience on newer devices that most of our users are playing today, we need to focus more resources on delivering the best gaming experiences on these platforms as we look towards the future. To our amazing players, we want to give our heartfelt thanks for your ongoing passion and support, which has helped inspire us to shape PlayStation into what it is today. We are excited for the future ahead. As we continue to push boundaries for play, we look forward to having you on this journey as we explore new game worlds and new adventures that have yet to come. I canceled my PlayStation Plus subscription as soon as that news came out. So I will not be playing online for the foreseeable future. I will continue to buy all physical games until, December 2027. And after that, I will be what's considered a retro gamer because I will not be buying the new system if they keep going this route. Somehow PlayStation stock has gone up. Meanwhile, like lots of people online have canceled their subscriptions to PlayStation Plus. Unfortunately, I did pay yearly, so I will have it until January 6th of next year. But after that, no more. Like I even told Jared, who I've been playing the division with for 3 years, if we don't beat this game by then, I'm not renewing. So it is what it is at this point. I actually did a video on the importance of physical media that I will be posting online later. And some of the people, like I saw on the comments on this Twitter post saying that, physical media never goes on sale and, digital is the way to go. I'm like, bro, if you're just lazy, just say that. Okay. If you don't want to get up off your fat ass to get up, change the disc out, just say that. But as far as like physical stuff never going on sale, that's Nintendo. Like I even posted a screenshot of Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, whatever the remake was, for Snake Eater. Still $70 on the PlayStation Store. At Best Buy, it was $25. So what are we talking about? As far as the PS3 and the Vita goes, I get it. Those are going on 20-year-old systems. The Vita, not quite 20 years old, because I feel like that came out around the time the PS4 was coming out. Because it did, I don't know if it had remote play for the PS3. I just know you could remote play PS4 games on your Vita. That's one of the reasons why my friend Poopa got it. But as far as the PS3 goes, that's cool. It's a 20-year-old system. I didn't really buy much DLC on that system. And as far as digital games, like I told you guys last week, I'm very anti-digital just because of the simple fact that I saw a video on Instagram doom scrolling that someone explained this as perfectly as possible, because he was talking to like his younger cousin or something like that, who's mainly all digital. And he said, think of it this way. You like Arkham Knight, right? Now, what if one day like PlayStation just decides, just to take that game off the store? And he was like, all right, cool, whatever. Then he's like, then think of it like Netflix. You got a movie queued up in your list. You just, had it there for a few years. And now you finally decide to watch it and it's no longer there. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I actually recorded a video on my phone about the importance of physical media and how, these delisted games, once they're gone, they're gone. You can't re-download them, like unless like you sell the 7 Cs on PC. Because even like Steam, I don't think you can buy Deadpool on. And if you had it before, I don't know if you can re-download it. But anyway, I'll splice the clip here. So this is why physical media matters. Deadpool. This was delisted because Activision lost the fucking license. All right. What else do I have that was delisted? Fucking Lego Dimensions. The game that everybody liked that got removed. Delisted. Avengers, delisted. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is delisted. It might still be around. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's it for PlayStation. But let's go retro. You think we're ever going to get a fucking remaster of Batman Begins on PS2? No. A game that Ed Boon keeps asking people on Twitter, do they want a remaster of? Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Hey, Ed, where the fuck is it? Power Rangers Super Legends, 15th anniversary. Probably not getting any more Power Ranger shit anytime soon. Spider-Man 3. Activision lost the license because they dropped the ball so bad. Arkham Origins, a PS3 game. No remaster, no remake. But we got remasters of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Prince of Persia. This game is a deep cut because they only made one of it. There's no sequel to this. And then, Ubisoft dropped the ball on Prince of Persia. Asura's Wrath. Never getting a sequel. That was a PS3 game. Dropping shit. Dead Space, 2? Dead Space 2. We were getting remasters, but nobody bought the PS5 version. Guitar Hero 2. Not getting that anymore. Why? Because they don't want to pay for licensing. Dead Space 3. same as Dead Space 2. DJ Hero 1, same. Like, Guitar Hero is dead. DJ Hero is dead. All that shit is dead. Infamous, Sucker Punch. Where the fuck is the sequel to Infamous Second Son? That game came out 12 years ago. It was one of the first games on the PS4. Infamous 1. Metal Gear Rising. Konami's remaking all the Snake games. How about Raiden, huh? Just fuck him, right? Michael Jackson, The Experience. Hey. Only dancing games that exist now are Just Fucking Dance. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. This was Super Smash Bros. With PlayStation characters. Never getting another one again. True crime. This is what I talk about when I say companies have franchises that they just leave to the wayside. Activision. Where is the third true crime game? I got this one. Do I have Streets of LA? Anyway, Spider-Man Edge of Time. Never getting that again, because like I said, Activision lost the license. Def Jam Icon, don't know what the fuck's going on with that. We got a remake to a remaster of Grand Theft Auto 3 and San Andreas. Shadow the Hedgehog, never getting another one of those. Minority Report, that's a movie game, so it don't matter. Arc Echoes, Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure. Atari made this game. Look at me, I'm about to drop every damn thing. I could have sworn I had the second true crime, and I dropped it anyway. First graffiti game I ever played. I bought this because, hey, you know, it was a fun game back in the day, and we're never gonna get a sequel. So yeah, that's why physical media fucking matters. So yeah, all I can say is rest in peace, PlayStation, 1994 to 2028. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is at this point, but you know, my next story actually chimes in on this. Like, everybody saw this and just decided to, like, just clap back in the most petty ways possible. So, Gamefly, you know, the subscription service like Netflix where, you know, you can rent games, clap back at them. So they said, we are disappointed in the news today about the future of PlayStation video games. Gamefly is run by people who believe physical products still matter. It is a belief that has been at the core of our company since day one. We are collectors and gamers and cinephiles just like you. We believe in the power of physical entertainment media. It's why we are committed to renting physical media, be it games or movies, until they pry the disc from our soft, moisturized hands. We also believe in good skincare. As long as games are on disc, Gamefly will be here for gamers who know the value of choice. If you are one of those gamers, we'd be remiss not to point out that you can restart your membership for $2.50. Offer good for previously canceled game accounts prior to January 1st, 2026, in good standing with at least one paid month, one or two game standard plans. But now through January 10th, you can restart your Gamefly account and show your gaming independence. Sincerely, Gamefly, last renter standing. And that's true. They are the last renter standing. And I think about it, like, there are no more red boxes. Netflix got rid of their physical stuff years ago. Obviously, Blockbuster is gone. But yeah, it's ridiculous that this is where we are, like, to this point. Like, Project Hail Mary hit Prime Video this Friday, and there's still no physical release until next month. So yeah. But as far as everybody else deciding to chime in on what's going on with PlayStation, IGN actually made a list of people. So KFC said, breaking news, KFC will stop offering its physical format starting today. Its products can only be consumed through the app and a fake PNG format. All right, Respawn, you know, they make gaming chairs and stuff like that. So in response to trends in the gaming industry, as of April 1st, 2028, Respawn products will gradually cease production of physical chairs and shift into production of digital chairs only. New and existing customers will be able to download our entire catalog of premium chairs. Imaginary comfort, excessive assembly not required. G Fuel. G Fuel's like W. They make energy products. All right, to our community. In response to the gaming industry's continued shift towards digital ownership, G Fuel will be discontinuing all physical tubs, cans, and stick packs effective April 1st, 2027. Moving forward, all flavors will be available exclusively as downloadable flavor files. Fans will be able to access our full catalog of delicious digital flavors and imagine the same delicious taste, energy, and focus in a completely virtual format. No shaker required, no shipping delays, no powder on your desk, just pure cloud-based fuel. Cheers. All right, Domino's UK. In response to the trends of the gaming industry, as of April 1st, 2027, Domino's UK will cease production of physical pizzas and shift to production of digital pizzas only. Consumers will be able to download our full range of delicious delicious pizza codes and using the power of imagination. Enjoy them in an entirely virtual nonsense. All right. This is from Proton Privacy. I'm guessing this is a VPN or something like that. In response to the gaming industry removing physical offerings moving forward, we decided to fill in the gap by making our services effectively physical starting April 1st, 2027. Proton Mail becomes encrypted letters hand delivered by our team. Pass becomes someone who follows you around and remembers your passwords for you. VPN files to one of your 90 plus locations so you can browse like a local. Drive ships every user a folder. Additional folders available upon request, and Lumo AI sends a smart employee to your location to answer your questions, help with work, and draw things. The Esports Awards. In response to the trends of the gaming industry as of 2028, the Esports Awards will cease production of physical trophies and shift to the production of digital trophies only. Winners will be able to download their trophy as a JPEG or PNG to display in a virtual display. PC Magazine. All right. Effective immediately, our content will be accessible via two distinct methods. A direct connection to our AI neural network, or two, a mail-in order subscription to a 3.5-inch floppy disk upgradable to CD-ROM for an extra $4.99. We thank you for understanding and invite you to join us in the evolution of PC Magazine. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. I'm pretty sure like the stock is going to eventually dip. It's probably just going to take a while, but like I said, I'm done, bro. Like I've been against like buying digital games since 2006 when the PS3 first dropped. Every game I ever owned was physical. I can honestly say, to the best of my recollection, as far as me purchasing digital games, I've only bought two. I bought Strider because that was digital only. It still hasn't had a physical release. I bought that on the PS4 in 2015. And I bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge just because like the physical version just kept selling out. Like Target, even though we were on a boycott for them, Best Buy, Amazon. I'm pretty sure I can get it now. And I'm still trying to get the Shell Shocked edition, which has all the DLC. So I will eventually get that. But yeah, just like I knew that this was going to happen when they announced the Slim and the Pro having a separate disk drive that you had to buy. I believe I even said it like 2-3 years ago whenever that happened. And like Samir's like, this is the future. I'm like, Samir, you don't buy shit physically. Okay. You bought a PS5 and like me, you got the bundle with Miles Morales, Destruction All-Stars, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. You played Rift Apart, but yeah, traded in Miles Morales just to get it on PC. I feel like DJ Academic's beefing with Charlemagne at this point. But yeah, it's honestly a dumb decision, and it's honestly, I feel like it's gonna bite them in the ass, and you know, they might just cave in and be like, hey guys, pull a Miles Morales and Beyond the Spider-Verse. I made a mistake. But yeah, it's just dumb. Like physical media will always triumph. Like, do I have to unblur the background? You guys know what's back there. Movies, TV shows, a lot of stuff that's been pulled from streaming services or have never been on streaming services. So yeah, I'm honestly over it. This is probably going to be like a short episode. Like I've already gone like 15 minutes ranting about this of all things, but it's just a dumb decision. As we move forward, do like Nintendo does, charge an extra $10 for games. Like I even saw somebody make a dumb argument. Well, they can't put all that data on one disc. Then you do 2 discs. You know what did it? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. As a matter of fact, I'll be right back. I know what I said last week when I said it, because I said it when I said it. Now be quiet. Oh no, the game is too big. We can't put it on one disc. So this game is 160 gigs. Well, minimum is the required space. 2 discs. We've been doing multiple discs since the PS1. Final Fantasy VII, 3 discs. Metal Gear Solid, 2 discs. Red Dead Redemption 2, 2 discs. Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS4 was 2 discs. So it's not that, we don't have the accessibility to do it. It's just like, why your physical sales are declining? Because the stores are not putting, like, they don't have the space for them anymore. Like, one of the reasons why I used to go into Best Buy was for physical media. Blu-rays, CDs, games. The game section is very minimal. All right. CDs, non-existent. I don't even think you can get vinyl at Best Buy anymore. Walmart is the same way. They used to have a wall, no pun intended, just for games. Why are we acting like this wasn't a thing? Like, that's been a thing since like the 90s, bro. Like, it's like, you knew like gaming was starting to get into the shitter once they got rid of like the demos. Like, Best Buy still has it for like the Switch, but remember, everybody used to have like a demo station for like the PS4, the PS3, the Xbox 360, Xbox One. All that's gone, like, everywhere. Best Buy like only has like the display for the Switch. I don't even think you can like play games on it. I know on the Switch One you can play demos and everything, but it's just like they don't want you to own nothing. All right. I can feel myself getting upset, and I feel like my temple is pulsating, so I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go get some water, and I'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task, and go to dubby.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's dubby.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10. All right, so this episode is very game heavy. A lot of pretty much no news has come out this week. Outside of this, it's just like everybody's like, let's just hold our shit back until like next week or something, because all the nerds are losing their shit. Xbox, surprisingly, has decided that they're going to be testing a disc to digital feature that digitizes a physical edition of like your games. And the funny thing is, I feel like they tried to do this a decade ago, basically, in whatever generation the PS4 and the Xbox One was, because you can look it up. Xbox was like, hey, once you own your game, like your physical game, you can't trade it in or anything. And that's when PlayStation decided to come back and like do like that little stupid demo, like share. This is how you share a game with your friend. This is how you share your physical game with your friend. Here.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
PlayStation.
Here. So, like, I don't know, like, how this would work. Is it going to be like, I feel like Nintendo does the same thing with the keys. So, like, the key is, like, linked to the account. So, yeah, it's basically saying that the disc to digital feature will work on discs that come bundled with consoles and multi-disc titles, providing access to everything the disc usually offers, including DLC, and some Xbox One discs might not work with the new feature, though it depends on how and when the disc was manufactured and may not have all the features they need for the program. So yeah, this was all in an internal letter. So yeah, I mean, I was just like, you guys should, like, I don't know. I might end up, like, if Xbox goes physical, I can't believe I'm saying this, I might switch over to Xbox. I mean, it happens with, no, because Nintendo didn't have a 3D system until the 64 and by then the PlayStation was out. But yeah, I went from Super Nintendo to PlayStation and been with PlayStation since, when did I get my first PlayStation? When did Crash Bandicoot 2 come out? Because that is always my metric. It's either 95 or 96. You know what? No, it wasn't. It's probably 97 or 98. Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, 97. So yeah, I've had pretty much every PlayStation system, with the exception of the Vita, since 1997. In the VR2, because obviously I already went into my grievances on the VR2. Doesn't play VR1 games. I'm not gonna have two different VR systems. Like if I want to play Beat Saber, I'm not gonna unhook the VR2 and get the VR1. But yeah, it's just gaming is cooked, bro. As far as it's physical, people like, what are you gonna do? Like, I get it, their PlayStation did it with Spider-Man. Like when a deluxe version of a game comes out, you're just gonna send me a digital code. But like I said, they're already doing that, like with Horizon and Spider-Man 2. That's why, shout out to IOI. I really do need to go put this in storage. I've been in my storage unit twice and I still keep forgetting to take it. For actually putting a physical game with this and the steelbook and everything. And next month I'm buying another version of this because I want the one with the wearable helmet. So I will be giving away a physical copy of 007 First Light. And I guess I'm going to have to splice this because y'all don't actually listen to the podcast. You just watch clips. So yeah. This is all just stupid. So if Xbox does this disc to digital thing, it's going to be a weird take. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. All right, my next story. I'm going to talk about some movies now. Danny McBride. We all know Danny McBride, right? Kenny Powers. He was in The Fistfoot Way, Pineapple Express. I think he played Red in Pineapple Express. The Righteous Gemstones, Vice Principals, This Is the End, Hot Rod, Tropic Thunder, Land of the Lost, the bomb that was known as Your Highness, 30 Minutes or Less, so on and so forth. Wrote the more recent Halloween movies. The last two really weren't as good as the first one, but you can't help but try. Wrote a G.I. Joe movie I told you guys about. He actually confirmed it with Josh Horowitz. He was on the Happy Sad Confused podcast, and he was talking about how the whole thing came to be. He said, G.I. Joe was his thing when he was a kid. He liked it more than Star Wars, more than anything. He loved G.I. Joe and still has all his original toys, apparently. And so, that gave him the idea of doing a Dreadnoks movie. So he said, I want to do a Dreadnoks movie. And I went to Paramount and pitched it. And they were like, well, the franchise kind of needs to be launched. So we can't come out with a Dreadnoks movie. Would you have an angle for a G.I. Joe movie popular? And he said, hell yeah, I'll have an angle on that. So yeah, he sat down with several of the writers that he worked with on The Righteous Gemstones and figured it out. He said, we sat down and cracked something that we really love a lot. Weirdly grounds G.I. Joe. It's not a comedy. It's kind of suspense and action, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm very interested in that. Like I said, I like Danny McBride. I've been a fan of Danny McBride since, I want to say, what was the first movie I saw him in? Was it Pineapple Express? No, it was actually Hot Rod. I always forget that he's in Hot Rod. Yeah, he was Rico Brown. So since Hot Rod, 'cause I never saw The Fistfoot Way. I didn't see All the Real Girls. But yeah. The hell? Somebody trying to call me? Oh, it's Arsenio. So yeah, I got faith in him. Yeah, check out Vice Principals. It's 2 seasons on HBO Max. Eastbound and Down, is it 4 or is it 6 seasons? I think it's 4 seasons. Also Alien, what's the Alien movie he was in? Covenant. Almost said Aftermath. That's not a movie. So yeah, check out. I have no problem watching a Danny McBride movie. So yeah. Oh, he produced Fat Man. I keep meaning to watch that. It's a action Christmas movie with Walton Goggins playing a hitman going after Santa Claus. So yeah. Someone I never talked about on this podcast, who I have deep affection for, ever since I was a child, Weird Al Yankovic. So I don't know if you guys have kids who like listen to music on streaming services, and the timing of this is just crazy. So once again, doom scrolling in the middle of the night, can't sleep, come across a father and his daughter in the car. And he's like, hey, my daughter was telling me about this weird AI music. I'm like, weird AI? What the fuck are we talking about? So he played it, and it was Fat by Weird Al, which is obviously, is the parody of Bad. So apparently an AI company reached out to him when he was getting ready for his Bigger and Weirder tour, which I missed, unfortunately. He was down in Lauderdale. He said that an AI company reached out to him and basically offered him a crap ton of money. And he said that, they didn't tell him it was AI, but it was a business software that would increase productivity. And he said, yeah, sure, we can do that. But then, the week that he was supposed to shoot the commercial, he found out that it was AI. And he was like, oh, no, I can't be the poster boy for AI, so forget it. So he said, yeah, he felt bad about pulling out at the last minute, but in the words of Hall & Oates, I can't go for that. No can do, no. So yeah, Weird Al hasn't released an album in, I feel like, a decade, but he's still out here touring. So I don't know if he was struggling for money. Like, yeah, the last album that came out was Mandatory Fun, and that's the one where he made fun of Everybody Get Up. Blurred Lines. I couldn't remember the name of the song. So yeah, I'm going to the track listing now. Like, Handy was a parody of Fancy. Foil was Royals. Word Crimes was Blurred Lines. Inactive was Radioactive. First World Problems was a style parody of Pixies. Tacky was Happy. So yeah, I applaud you, Weird Al. Speaking of which, Weird Al has a variant cover for Batman Superman's World's Finest, by the way. I've been meaning to get. I just haven't found it. So I guess I got to go online and get it. All right, my next story. In, the world of DCU and, Superman not doing so well at the box office, they made the announcement that a Mr. Terrific series is in the works. So, yeah, I will definitely be checking it out. No idea who's going to be in it besides Edie Gatetti. But I'm going to have more on DC when I get into my review of Supergirl. But I am actually going to talk about my comic previews for books that are coming out in September. So let me get my iPad and let's go ahead and get into these. So it's not really a lot this time around, surprisingly. I don't know if they folded in or what happened, but Oni Press is releasing Archie comics now. So they will be releasing Archie, written by Ben H. Winters, illustrated by Fabio Moon. And this will be coming out on September 2nd for $4.99. So it says New York Times best-selling writer, Edgar Award and Philip K. Dick Award winner, And eyes. Why would they put and if you're not done? It's New York Times best-selling writer, Edgar Award winner, comma, Philip K. Dick Award winner, and Eisner Award nominee. All right. Ben H. Walters joins multiple Eisner Award-winning artist Fabio Moon to reintroduce America's favorite teenager. For his entire life, 17-year-old Archie Andrews had it all, adoring friends, football glory, and a natural charm that always seems to make him the center of attention. Now, through his eyes, experience the warmth and wonder of Riverdale and its near-infinite roster of residents, the popular kids, the endearing oddballs, and everyone in between. As Archie embarks on a whirlwind all-star adventure through the town's past, present, and future, beginning with a local film festival that's about to turn everything upside down. And at the center of it all lies an enigmatic paradox that only Archie's pal Jughead Jones can possibly unravel. Plus puzzles, pinups, and a veritable sweet shop of surprises that all link to the same inextricable mystery. Finally, your antidote for postmodern malaise has arrived. Welcome to the all-new Archie #1. So I'm gonna check that out. I like when Archie goes beyond the slice of life, like, you know, with the sweater with the A and all that stuff. Like, modernized Archie is what I like. Like, Mark Waid did an Archie series about 10, 11 years ago, just like right around the time Riverdale got started. And that was good for the time. But then, like, somewhere along the lines, he just got bored with it and was like, I'm done with Riverdale, bro. All right, so this is from IDW. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hunger. And this is written by Paula Lohr with art by Gavin Smith. This will be coming out September 30th. It is $5.99. All right. As the dead return in the city that never dies, an old enemy resurfaces. Hun. Casey Jones's abusive father was always quick to anger, and his time in the afterlife has done little to mellow him out. Back from the dead, he seeks to reclaim his position as the leader of the Purple Dragons, and the only ones who can stop him are two recent returns from Battle Nexus, Slash and Ninjara. Okay, cool. Like, I just finished Battle Nexus. I was wondering what they were going to do with Ninjara and Slash. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, what else do I have from like an indie company before I get into Marvel and DC. Okay, Dark Horse. This is a franchise that goes from comic book company to comic book company just because it is creator owned. And this is the complete Nemesis library collection. This is not a single issue. This is basically an omnibus of the Mark Miller and Steve McNiven created supervillain Nemesis. Wait, what? I'm sorry, this is an advanced solicit. This will be out in November. It's $100, 608 pages. Written by Mark Miller with art by Pepe Larraz, Valerina Giangandio, Mateo Scalero, and Jorge Jimenez. It says, collecting the Nemesis Reloaded series from Mark Miller and Batman superstar Jorge Jimenez with 3 other volumes in the Nemesis collection. This huge library collection contains everything you need to know for the complete story of a city's worst nightmare. The first series has Nemesis back to avenge the cops who murdered his criminal parents when he was a kid. The second series has Nemesis facing off against every superhero in their world in the huge crossover event Big Game. The third series, Nemesis Rogues Gallery, has the world's most evil man taking on a messed up teen sidekick. But Volume 4, Nemesis Forever, is where it all goes crazy, and Nemesis teams up with an ancient occult secret society to subjugate the entire human race. So yeah, I could have sworn Steve McNiven drew the first volume. But okay, it's been a minute. All right, this is from Dynamite. As you guys know, I've been reading the Space Ghost series written by David Pepose and drawn by Jonathan Lau. So this is going to be in between season 3, which is volume 3. I don't know what they call it, seasons. This is Space Ghost versus the Herculoids. And so it says the universe's most heroic families collide in Space Ghost versus the Herculoids. This is going to be out September 16th, $4.99. When Space Ghost and the twins stop a brutal hijacking of a Federation cruiser, they discover a new arms race involving a rare mineral known as quartzite. Quasarite. But when the Federation invades the hidden planet of Asmont to retrieve it, they'll trigger an unspeakable tragedy that will put the intergalactic barbarian Xandor and the Herculoids on a harrowing quest of revenge. With civilians caught in the crossfire, can Space Ghost and company stop the Herculoids' attack before they reach the heart of the Federation? And what dark machinations lie ahead for the Federation's chief prison warden? The evil collector and his robotic savant Mechano is the showdown in the century that will set the stage for Space Ghost's next adventures. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be checking that out. I don't really have much as far as indies go, but that's pretty much it for the indies. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into Marvel. And first thing that caught my eye, Aliens versus X-Men. So since, Fox is now owned by Disney, they've been doing these Alien crossovers, Predator crossovers. I told you guys about the Captain America versus Alien one. Also, Predator destroys the Marvel Universe, and Predator versus the Marvel Universe, and obviously the other versus Black Panther versus Predator, Wolverine versus Predator, and Spider-Man versus Predator. So this is Aliens versus X-Men. It's probably going to be 32 pages. It doesn't have the page count, but it'll go on sale on September 16th. It is $5.99. This is written by Karen Gillan and Chris Claremont, with art by Geraldo Borges. So it says X-Men versus Xenomorphs. They went looking for a Phoenix egg, and then they found something else. The X-Men return to Earth with deadly cargo, and a violent battle between mutant and alien begins. And will an unexpected ally turn the tide in X-Men's favor? In this special crossover decades in the making, the next evolution of Marvel's mightiest mutants begins. Will anyone survive the experience? Plus the first chapter of an all-new story by the legendary Chris Claremont featuring Kitty Pryde, The Brood, and Xenomorphs. Okay. I mean, the Brood are basically Xenomorphs. I mean, they grow in your stomach and turn you into an alien. That's the only difference, is they don't kill you. All right. Black Panther, Namor, Doomed. Written by Ethan S. Parker and Griffin Sheridan, and is illustrated by Stefano Nessi. $4.99, goes on sale September 2nd. Black Panther and Namor trapped in hell with Doom. Spinning out of the events of Captain America and Avengers Armageddon, Black Panther and Namor must investigate hell when Wakanda and Atlantis are attacked by demons. But once there, these rival kings discover they aren't alone as they cross paths with the wandering soul of Dr. Doom, who's been dead for a good minute now, since I can't remember the thing he had where he was the Sorcerer Supreme last year. All right. Speaking of Doom, Challenges of Doom, Spider-Man issue 1. This was written by Al Ewing with art by David Messina, who I met almost 10 years ago at SuperCon. This goes on sale September 9th, $4.99. Dr. Doom versus the Amazing Spider-Man. Discover an untold tale from the early days of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. The unlikeliest crossing of paths as Dr. Doom seeks out the young web slinger in Queens, determined to make him a core part of his next world-dominating scheme. Too bad Pete doesn't really go for that kind of thing. But even worse, Doom doesn't take no for an answer. How will this end? There's only one book where you can find out. We know how it ends because it's a flashback story. Right? Gambit Gone. This is written by Steve Orlando and illustrated by Eduardo Odino. I'm pretty sure I butchered that last name. It's Aoudino. This goes on sale September 23rd, and this is $4.99 from the pages of X-Men of Apocalypse, a saga. What? Okay. Yeah, a saga spinning directly out of the shocking conclusion of X-Men of Apocalypse. Omega. One which will demand more of the man called Gambit than ever before. And two intertwined tales, Remy LeBeau will face his demons and the demons of all mutant kind, and a story which will see the limits of the reformed Gambit pushed to their breaking point. What kind of man, what kind of husband, what kind of hero will emerge? So yeah, I mean, I gotta catch up on X-Men of Apocalypse. Just trying to read comics is hard. I barely have time to game. I'm dog sitting this weekend for a friend. So basically, after I'm done here, I gotta go back over to his spot, walk the dogs and everything. All right, Marvel Mangaverse. I told you guys this was coming back, so now we kind of got the writers and artists in these Mangaverse one-shots. Arcane Avengers. This is written by Ashley Allen with art by Mika Androlfo. She wrote and drew a comic called I can't remember what the name of it is. Why am I drawing a blank? I can't remember, but it's about a pig and like it's an anthropomorphic universe where like pigs and like foxes and all types of animals live in harmony, and like she gets framed for murder and a bunch of stuff like that. I'll try to remember it. You know, I'll look it up real quick because it's gonna be one of those things that annoys me. What the hell? How's it not on her Wikipedia page? But Sweet Paprika is? I know it's one word. It's a one word. And it's not on her. All right, comics. Go to her website. Unnatural. That's what it was. So yeah, check that out. All right. Cursed to be a sorcerer, recruited by the Ten Hands and forced to undergo magical experiments, the Winter Soldier leads a reluctant squad of sorcerers, Bloodline, and Wiccan, to defeat and imprison demonic Yote for their capture's nefarious purposes. As a new wave of yokai. So I don't know why I said Yote. Charlie had got Ghost of Yote on the brain, waiting for it to go on sale on Black Friday physical. As a new wave of yokai incursion stretches resources, then this will be the opportunity Bucky Barnes needs to make his escape and finally be free. Or will the reappearance of his former childhood friend Hawkeye throw everything into disarray? No matter what, the Arcane Avengers are in for the fight of their lives as rising star Ashley Allen and lauded Mika Androlfo make their splash in the Marvel Mangaverse in this Marvel Mangaverse 25th anniversary special. I feel like I read these last month. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to look at my notes. Last week. As a matter of fact, let me look at that real quick because I feel like I did. Mangaverse. Okay, it might have been 2 weeks ago. I don't see it, but I know I read it. Oh, like 3 weeks ago, actually. See if it's the same synopsis real quick. Synopses. Oh, that's okay. That's what it was. There was no synopsis. I just had the list of the creators. All right. Mangaverse Ghostlock, written by Alyssa Wan, with art by Michael Yeague. When you seek vengeance, expect carnage. Renowned creative team of Alyssa Wong and Michael. Is it a V or is it a Y? There's such a bad typo on here. It's Michael Yeague. Reunite for an explosive retribution in this Marvel Mangaverse 25th anniversary special. Carnage carved a body swathed through humans and yokai alike as he seeks to fulfill his cataclysmic prophecy. The only thing standing in his way, the hellacious fury of a rightfully pissed off Ghost Rider and her Shinigami bike. Riding hell for leather, Koan hunts down Cletus Cassidy as they race breakneck down the road to ruin. So Psylocke is the Ghost Rider of this Mangaverse universe. All right, Iron Knight, written by Cody Ziegler, illustrated by Kai Zama. The blood moon rises as a blood feud comes to a head. In the city of New Chicago, besieged by demonic yokai and trapped within a magical dome, Reboot Williams has rigged a mana-powered mech suit to dole out justice and keep the streets safe as Ironheart. But when the opportunity arises to avenge the death of a friend, Riri finds herself entangled on a dangerous quest for vengeance alongside legendary sorcerer Moon Knight. Strap in, power up, and prepare yourself for a heavy metal, high-octane adventure as Cody Ziegler and Kai Zama make their mark on the Mangaverse. All right. So, Web of Blood. This is written by Joe Kelly and his son Jack Kelly and illustrated by Kenny Ruiz. All right. Celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Marvel Mangaverse, father-son duo of Joe and Jack Kelly are teaming up with acclaimed artist Kenny Ruiz in a world where technology no longer works and magic reigns supreme. A looming apocalypse threatens to end the world in a sea of flames, that is, unless Spider-Man, aka Miles Morales, Weapon Extremist, Laura Kinney, and Magic, Ileana Rasputin, have something to say about it. But as each attempts to stave off Armageddon leads each further down the road of forbidden magic, these friends turned enemies must confront the question of if their choices really will save the world or doom it entirely. I did do screenshots of that one by accident. All right. Web of Destiny, last part of the manga verse. Joe Kelly and Jack Kelly again. Friends, foes, and fates collide in this epic finale. The apocalypse has arrived, and at the center of it all stands Spider-Man, Weapon Extremis, and Legion. Can the trio overcome their... Wait, I thought I just said... Okay, so she changes her name to Legion somewhere along the line, and Legion, Ileana Rasputin. All right. Can the trio overcome their differences long enough to set things to rights, or will they be forced to watch the world burn around them? As the ashes fall, pacts are made, friendships are tested, and heroes are born in this climactic crescendo. I didn't read when all these books were coming out. So Iron Knight is September 9th. That one's $4.99. Web of Blood is September 2nd. That one's $5.99. Iron Knight is $4.99. That comes out on the 9th of September. Web of Blood is $5.99. That one comes out September 2nd. And Web of Destiny is $5.99. And that one comes out at the end of September on the 30th. All right. So they release these like every year, every other year, like every 3 years. Depends on whenever they want to do it. But Marvel Zombies is getting another series. And this is Marvel Zombies Warzone. This is written by Tom Waltz, who I know for writing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for about a good decade or so before he left the book. And the art is by Jaime Infante. All right, Escape the Hunger. A zombie outbreak has hit Manhattan and the whole city is rapidly overrun. As Earth's mightiest heroes succumb to the virus, a barrier is hastily erected to protect the world, but inside the barrier, a war zone is broken out as survivors fight for their lives against the ever-growing horde. However, one man isn't looking for survival. He's after answers as he's looking for answers as he carves a body swathed of his own through the ravaged city. And if any zombies get in his way, well, the Punisher has a lot of lead they can eat. September 2nd, $4.99. I think this is the first Marvel Zombie series that had the Punisher in it at all. Because the first two was basically pretty much everybody with powers only. And like Iron Man being zombies. All right. Spider-Woman is celebrating her 50th anniversary this year. So she is getting a 50th anniversary special one-shot written by Ann Nocenti and Dan Waters with art by Stefano Raffaele. To know her is to cheer her. Celebrating 50 years of Marvel's Dark Angel, Ann Nocenti returns Spider-Woman to Los Angeles for a detective story for the ages, and Dan Waters gives us a spine-tingling look into Jessica Drew's future. Day 1 and day 18,262 Spider-Woman fans alike won't want to miss this jam-packed issue. That's going to be $4.99, and it comes out September 2nd. It's only $4.99. If it's jam-packed, it should be like at least 6. So it just seems like that's going to be the standard 32 pages. So, I don't know. Queen in Black is happening soon, and I feel like this is a spoiler. So this is The Amazing Venom. This is written by Jordan Morris, and art by Luke Ross. I really hope Luke Ross doesn't do like that gritty art that he was doing on Captain America. When we last left the Red and Blue Beast symbioted Fred Myers, formerly Boomerang, now Comeback. He was trying to keep his life uncomplicated. The last thing he wanted was to get caught up in the symbiote nonsense of Hela and Null's war over Earth. But the best laid plans of saps and symbiotes often go awry. Now in the fallout, Fred and his symbiote passenger find themselves on a mission way more complicated than your average Venom can handle. September 30th, $4.99. They're giving Boomerang a symbiote? Okay. He will be seen in Spider-Man Brand New Day just for a second. So yeah, that is it for Marvel. DC. Teen Titans is getting relaunched by Kyle Higgins with art by Danielle Di Nicolo, who they worked together on Power Rangers back in the day. And this will be out on September 2nd, and it's $3.99. So this says when one of their own vanishes after attending a rally for Ascend, a fast-growing youth movement training kids to survive in a world shaped by superhuman conflict, Fair Play Cheshire Cat Proxy and Wildcard will do whatever it takes to find their friend, including teaming up with Red Hood. Jason thinks they're soft and reckless. They don't understand how he can still kill people. Now they have to work together, whether they like it or not. So I was wondering what they were going to do with these kids, because a lot of these kids, they're the next generation of like heroes. So like Cheshire is Arsenal's and Cheshire is that kid. I don't know who Proxy is. Fair Play is Mr. Terrific's kid, who was kidnapped as a baby by Granny Goodness. And I forgot who Wildcard is. I think that's Wildcat's like grandson or something like that. I can't remember. All right. Legion of Superheroes. Loco, listen. Legion of Superheroes. This is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Hayden Sherman. This will be out on September 2nd, and it's going to be $3.99. And the reason why I'm telling you to listen is because they're doing a Michael J. Fox cameo variant, since it takes place in the future. All right, and it's drawn by Dan Mora. So it says 1,000 years after the last son of Krypton's rocket crashed on the Kent farm comes a new future inspired by the Man of Steel. But this new future is in danger. Superheroes are outlawed. Deadly forces known as the Persuaders keep the populace of the United Planets in check. Worlds are at war. In this dark future's last glimmer of hope, R.J. Brand has been brutally murdered. Can the mysterious Brainiac One solve Brand's murder? To restore hope across the universe, he must assemble a legion of gifted young rebels from across the cosmos, but they are scattered across the universe. They say universe way too many sounds for that one. Makes sense, but definitely going to check out Legion of the Superheroes. I like Hayden Sherman's art. I told you guys about the Kingdom of Zod crossover happening and Superman starting in August. So Superman Kingdom of Zod special will be out on September 16th. It is $4.99. It's written by Joshua Williamson, Mark Waid, Dan Slott, and Sophie Campbell. So Joshua Williamson is writing Superman. Mark Waid is writing Action Comics. Dan Slott is writing Superman Unlimited. And Sophie Campbell is writing Supergirl. They should really call her woman at this point. She's not a child. This is it. The startling conclusion to Kingdom of Zod. The Kryptonite Kingdom has fallen. The only way to stop the war comes with great costs and shocks. Supergirl versus Ursa. Superman versus Zod. The Super Force against Zod's army. The Super Family will never be the same after this issue. As long as they don't kill Connor again, I'm all for it. I don't know what's going on with Zod. I mean, not Zod, John. So, as I mentioned Weird Al earlier, I forgot that they're doing a team up with Weird Al. And this is Superman, Batman, Weird Al, World's Weirdest. I don't know. I can't speak. All right, this is written by Mark Waid, but art by Dan Shonen. Shout out to Dan Shonen. He drew Ghostbusters back in the day. $4.99. This will be coming out on September 2nd. The fifth dimension is being hit with an affliction that turns everything dull and ordinary. But as Mr. Mxyzptlk reaches out to Superman and Batman for help, the same plague has hit Earth. There's only one person to call. Weird Al Yankovic. Get ready for this weird one-shot that the one and only Weird Al Yankovic joins the world's finest team. So I'm going to check that out. And if I ever meet Weird Al, I will get it signed by him. So yeah, guys, that is it for my upcoming comics. So I can go ahead and put this to the side. Oh crap, I'm about to just knock over everything. Like I bought this new light that I can use for streaming instead of that ring light. All right. Oh, I forgot to go back to this week's episode's notes. I should have brought this up when I talked about games. So, remember Xbox announced a Blade game back in the day? Well, they're considering scrapping Blade and shutting down the studio that was going to be responsible for it, and that's Arcane.
You what?
It was supposed to be coming out sometime late next year, and apparently it's over budget. I'm just like, once again, don't announce stuff that's not on the verge of being done. Because, like I said, Hellblade is gone after the next game is coming out. So it's just like, I remember back in the day, like, you would get the trailer for the game, and then, it'd be out like 3 to 4 months later. So I get it. Games are bigger. Details are more, they're taking more time to do, but come on, man. Make it make sense. And once again, Xbox shouldn't have bought all those studios, especially if you're not going to let the people do things on their time. I get budget is one thing, but I don't know. I'm kind of over it. All right, I am going to cue up the spoiler alert. Let me go to Wikipedia real quick. And I'm going to talk about the first 3 episodes of X-Men 97, Season 2. All right, episodes. Oh, we're getting one less episode for this season? That sucks. It's called Days of Past Future, A Force to be Reckoned with, and Rise of Apocalypse Part 1. So, as you know from the last season, the X-Men are divided across 2 timelines. One team, let's call them X-Men Gold, Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean, Storm, and Morph are sent to the Days of the Future past, future, where Apocalypse reigns supreme. And, well, let's call them Blue. X-Men Gold, which is basically the second team of Professor X, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Rogue, and Beast are sent to ancient Egypt, where Aaron Sabanur is planning a coup against Ramatat, aka King the Conqueror. Meanwhile, back in the 90s, Forge and Bishop build a time machine to go get the X-Men. Forge goes to the future to get Storm, obviously, and Bishop goes to the past to get our gold team. Jubilee and Sunspire are left behind with nowhere to go, and Cable recruits them. Archangel and Psylocke to form his new X-Force team. Meanwhile, the government has formed their own mutant team called X-Factor. X-Factor and X-Force clash heads. Cable is obviously trying to stop Apocalypse, so he kills the Avatar for Apocalypse's war. Jubilee gets captured by X-Force, causes havoc, a low-rent Cyclops, and escapes, and actually saves a bunch of people who I did not realize were in this episode. I saw a few from the young X-Men team like Dust, but I didn't see Quentin Quire. I saw the Cuckoos. So yeah, saves all of them. Magneto is trying to sway Sabanur to be different than how he is in their future. And that all goes sideways. But Forge gets, our gold team and takes them back to the present. Wolverine's still rocking bone claws after, Magneto ripped the adamantium out of his body. I wonder how we're going to deal with that when we get back to the future. And, back to the past. And Bishop, shows up and just takes everybody out who's getting ready to attack the X-Men after Sabanur realizes that they've been hoarding some stuff from Ramatat and not telling him about it. So they might have made him the villain this whole time. And Ramatat blows up Sabanur's hideout right as our blue team goes back to the future. So hell of a opening for a season. I can honestly say I enjoyed every episode. Obviously noting that this takes place in the 90s was a little bit cheesy. Like, how many times are you going to say, we got to get the X-Men back to the 90s? We got to get back to 1997. Forge already has everybody in the 90s. We got to get you guys back to 97. So on and so forth. Morph didn't really do much of anything these 3 episodes, but like I said, I really enjoyed the second episode where it's X-Force, X-Factor centric. Just seeing X-Factor made me think of Peter David, man. I only ever read his runs of X-Factor, and I can honestly say he had that team like down to a T. With the exception of the most recent X-Factor series. After the Coca-Cola stuff, but yeah. Yeah, guys, X-Men 97 Wednesdays on Disney Plus. Check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Supergirl, directed by Craig Gillespie, written by Anna Naguar, stars Millie Alcock, Jason Momoa, and a few other people I can't remember. So, in order to get drunk for her 23rd birthday, Kara Zor-El celebrates on a planet that circles the red sun, because Kryptonians can't have powers on the red sun. All right, and during her drunken ball crawl, she runs into Ruthie, who is a young Krek, I guess that's the name of the alien race, teen looking for vengeance against Krim, who is a brigand and a human trafficker who slaughtered her swordsmith father and her family for their weapons. All right. Krim eventually gets stranded because Ruthie's father blows up his ship. So he steals Kara's, but in the midst of stealing Kara's ship, Krypto tries to attack him. He gets shot with a poison dart, and she finds out that he has 72 hours to live. So Kara and Ruthie traverse the galaxy looking for Krim and the brigands. They come across some smugglers who try to, space pirates who try to rob them and everybody on the ship. But lo and behold, they throw Kara out into space, into a planet with a yellow sun. She interrogates them for information of where he could be. They go to that planet looking for more information. Kara gets into a bar fight with everybody. They come across Lobo, who pretty much does nothing this entire movie, besides get caught trying to capture one of Krim's lieutenants. The bartender in the bar tells Kara and Ruthie that they know where Krim is, but they have a contact who's going to meet them back at their place. They drug Kara, and the main reason they do that is because Krim took their daughter, so they said, the only way we'll give you your kid back is if you give us 2 people for the price of 1. A whole fight breaks out in the house. Ruthie gets that family killed by not listening to Kara. Lobo shows up, gets caught. Ruthie also gets caught. They go to a planet with the green sun, which affects Kryptonians, which I did not know was a thing. It actually has 2 suns. So it has a green sun and a yellow sun. Once Kara is revitalized, the fight breaks out. Lobo gets his bounty. And to save Ruthie's soul, Kara kills Krim instead of letting Ruthie do it. After that, they cure Krypto. Kara and Krypto go back to Earth and, decide to stay there with Cal and find her place on Earth. So yeah, that was it. I liked the movie. My only problem was 2 things. One, why was Lobo in this movie? Lobo did nothing whatsoever. It's kind of like that episode of The Big Bang Theory where Amy breaks down Indiana Jones not really providing any type of factor into Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, he did nothing at all. The first scene, he shows up, he gets drunk. Second scene, there's a big fight. Kara's handling most of those people. Then you see him, his third appearance, he is captured. How is Lobo captured? But then Ruthie has to break him out. And then he kind of sort of helps in the last fight, but not really. In the second one, this is also in the last fight. Why on earth? So I'm going to talk about the drama behind this movie after this. Why on earth would they use that cover of Jimmy Eat World's The Middle? Like, I'm just like, make that make sense. Because that was just horrible. All right. But yeah, all in all, like I said, I enjoyed the movie, but I got to give this like a 8, 7 or 8. I'm somewhere conflicted in between there. Like I said, I don't do halves. So I'm just like, make that make sense, man, because so Craig Gillespie said that, oh yeah, that song choice was from James Gunn, by the way. And there are apparently 2 cuts of Supergirl that were screened for test audiences. One was from Craig Gillespie, and the other one was from DC Studios. Craig Gillespie's version had 11 minutes more footage and featured more of Krim. And that was not the version that was chosen for the theater. So they chose the DC version. So yeah, apparently Gunn and Gillespie had creative differences over the direction of the movie that numerous sources told the Hollywood Reporter. Said that they were not creatively aligned. And honestly, it feels like James Gunn is kind of turning into Kevin Feige by not like letting the directors like have final say. Although Helen Slater said she enjoyed the movie, and that's the OG Supergirl. But yeah, they did a test screening in December that it was just okay. Then the studio decided to take matters in their own hands and changed took charge of the post-production to make its own cut. And they also enlisted Jeremy Slater to help with the post-production process. No extent on how much of Slater's involvement was done, but he helped rewrite scenes and had they also had a 9-day reshoot. Anna Naguara was also involved in the post-production process as well. But yeah, like I said, don't just like Shanghai a movie from the director, collaborate. That's what the whole process is supposed to be. It's supposed to be collaboration, but hey, it is what it is at this point. And you know what it is? What it is? Oh crap, I almost forgot. My Adventures with Superman. So episode 3 dropped. What was it called? I can't remember the name of it at the moment. I'm looking it up right now. But basically, Jimmy gets put on a blind date with Giganta, and Kara and Lois go to the mall. Kara's trying to embrace the future. Lois is trying to be stuck in the present. It's actually called All's Fair in Love and Worms. Yeah, so like I said, Jimmy goes on a date. Clark is trying to have a day off, but that's not happening. But Hank Henshaw is like crashing out. Almost kills somebody who stole a purse. Almost kills Silver Banshee and her friends just for stealing some stuff. So Superman has to get involved with that. But yeah. Also, we did get a glimpse of Superboy from the future who's getting sent back in time by a bald Lex Luthor. So that explains what the bald Lex Luthor is. But yeah, I like as soon as I saw that girl Jimmy was on a date with, I'm like, that's Giganta, bro. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait till next week's episode. Like Adult Swim already put out a clip of John L. meeting the younger version of his parents. So I would definitely be excited for that. I don't like the fact that he has Connell's clothes, aka the OG Superboy, which is the clone of Lex and Clark. But yeah, so check out My Adventures with Superman on HBO Max on Sundays, and it airs Saturday nights on Adult Swim. So, all right, guys, that's it. I gotta go walk these dogs. So I will see y'all later. Peace out.